Good afternoon and go Tigers, and thank you all for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our Board of Trustees. They provide incredible leadership over Clemson University. If you are here with the Board of Trustees, would you please stand so that we can recognize and thank you? Thank you all for being here or tuning in through our live stream for this exciting and historic announcement. I'm excited to be with you today as we launch Clemson Elevate, our bold new strategic plan. Clemson Elevate will guide us into the future and will continue to elevate our global brand and what it means to be a Clemson Tiger. Clemson Elevate builds on the amazing success of our previous strategic plan, Clemson Forward, whose goals we managed to not only meet, but exceed ahead of schedule in the midst of a global pandemic. During a time when we were all learning what to do and asking questions like, how do we keep each other safe? How do we continue to educate our brilliant students? How do we continue to do research? And how do we continue to make an impact on our communities? We were also asking, where will Clemson be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? How will Clemson come out of the pandemic and continue to lead with excellence? Not many universities were thinking of launching a strategic plan during the pandemic, but Clemson knew we had to plan for the future. And through the outstanding leadership of our faculty, staff, our students, our boards, our deans, administrators, executive leadership team, and other stakeholders, we initiated the creation of a new, bold strategic vision called Clemson Elevate. Clemson Elevate keeps the mission of Clemson at the core and stays true to what Thomas Green Clemson vision was when he created this great university. Thomas Green Clemson wanted to create a university that would make a difference in the lives of others through education, research, and service. And he wanted to promote economic prosperity and healthy communities. Our focus has been and always will be on our students, our research, and our impact in the state of South Carolina and beyond. Clemson Elevate is built on 3 pillars: students, research, and impact. And it continues to keep Clemson, Clemson. At Clemson, best is the standard, and we continue to break records and perform at the highest level in every area. We are breaking records in admissions, enrollment, research, retention rates, graduation rates, fundraising, diversity, athletics, and so many other areas. I want to take just a moment and share with you a few recent record-breaking achievements that we had this past year. In 2022, we had a record-breaking number of applications, record-breaking number of in-state students, highest ever retention rates, highest ever 4-year graduation rates, highest ever graduation rate for Pell students, highest ever graduation rate for first-generation students, like I was, highest ever graduation rate for underrepresented minority students, our first ever Churchill Scholar following the announcement of our first ever Rhodes Scholar. We had record-breaking number of PhD graduates, record-breaking number of student national awards in 1 year, 57. Most ever graduates in a year, more than 7,000. We had record-breaking value of our research proposals submitted, nearly $900 million. We had record-breaking value of our R&D research expenditures. We had the largest ever single grant in the history of the university, a $70 million grant from the USDA. We had the largest ever package of grants in the history of our university, a $100 million ceiling from the U.S. Army. We had record-breaking fundraising with more than $210 million from our incredibly generous donors. We had the largest ever gift from a former student athlete, thanks to Mark Richardson and his wife, Catherine. We had the largest ever value of the Clemson Endowment. We had the largest ever payout from the endowment to the university. We had the largest ever gift to IPTAY in our history from Jim and Candace Brown. We had the highest ever GPA for our student athletes. We had our first ever MacArthur Genius Grant. We had our first ever Root Top 100 awardee. We were named a diversity champion for the 6th year in a row. We were #1 in career services. We had our highest ever university social media national ranking in the top 10. We had our highest ever bond rating. We had a record balance sheet for the enterprise, and we had a net record position for the entire enterprise, and that was just last year. And those are just some of the records that we broke in 2022. And we have been breaking records year after year after year. But as you all know, it isn't about the numbers, and it isn't about breaking records. It's about the lives that we are impacting every single day. We are achieving great things at Clemson, and Clemson Elevate will take us from where we are in 2023, and it will continue to move us even further into the future. Our success is in a large part to each of you and so many others. So thank you. Thank you to each and every person whose continued commitment to Clemson has propelled us to new heights and has continued to elevate our championship culture. I want to do a very quick exercise with everyone here today, and I ask that those online join in as well. I want you to see how impactful your efforts have been. I tell everyone that at Clemson, we have the best people, and that we have an incredible culture, and that the people here are always all in. If you teach or have taught at Clemson, please stand and remain standing. If you work on research, will you please stand and remain standing? If you support our students in any way, will you please stand and remain standing? If you work with or partner with our communities in any way, including extension, rural medicine, and other initiatives, will you please stand and remain standing? If you submitted input, attended a town hall meeting for Clemson Elevate, or worked on getting us to today's launch in any way, will you please stand and remain standing? If you helped to fund, supported, advised, or govern any of these initiatives at Clemson, will you please stand and remain standing? Take a look around the room. This is Clemson. This is all in. This auditorium is packed with people who love this university and will do anything for it. And it's because of each of you that I know our future is incredibly bright. So will you give yourselves a round of applause? You may be seated. We have so much momentum right now, but we have to keep going. We have to keep pushing, and we have to elevate Clemson even further. I want to take just a minute to share a video with you that hopefully will get you as pumped up as I am about Clemson Elevate and our future. After the video, I'd like to turn it over to our Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Bob Jones, and our Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Tony Wagner.
Elevate is here. bold strategy for an ever-better Clemson University, Clemson Elevate is designed to lead us toward national preeminence in education, in research, and it dedicates us in service to our state and our nation. More than a strategic plan, Clemson Elevate is a promise to current and future generations of Clemson Tigers. One, we will deliver the #1 student experience core to our mission. Two, we will double research by 2035, working with government and industry. Three, we will transform lives, making an impact through economics, education, and health outreach. These 3 strategic pillars will guide our work. 15 academic and economic focus areas will drive our success. And one abiding spirit will propel our upward momentum. Our bold strategy for a bright future. Clemson Elevate.
Wow, that's a great video. That dog always gets to me. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. Many of you who are in this room today, or you're watching today, you were among the hundreds of people who got engaged and worked on this plan over the past 2 years. As we meet to discuss our future, we asked ourselves about areas of excellence at Clemson, existing or emerging. And of those, what are the ones we should consider growing? To choose the best of our ideas, we asked, does this area represent current strengths or significant opportunities for Clemson? Would there be a strong ROI if we invested in it? Do we have existing facilities on which we can grow capacity? Does this help expand Clemson's PhD education? Is it interdisciplinary? And here are 15 areas of focus that resulted from this hard work. They reflect areas of excellence, impact, and great potential for our future. They include the use of high-impact practices in teaching and learning, research and development at the frontiers of science, engineering, and creative endeavors, and novel approaches to outreach. And by the way, all this information and more will be available on the Clemson Elevate website. Easy to remember, clemson.edu/elevate. From these 15 areas that you saw on the previous slide, 3 pillars of excellence emerged. And in Pillar 1 on the left, we set bold vision for becoming the #1 student experience in the nation, where every student thrives. The middle pillar focuses on the upward trajectory of our research and discovery, with another bold goal to double research by 2035. And Pillar 3 on the right highlights our dedication to transform lives statewide and beyond, which is vital to our land-grant mission of service to communities. Intentionally, the plan calls for all parts of the university, including our colleges, cooperative extension, innovation campuses, PSA research and education centers, athletics, our partners and alliances, student affairs, our board of trustees, our alumni and administrations, all to work together to deliver the results on these 3 pillars. And we will do so by infusing Clemson's values of integrity, respect, patriotism, excellence, and self-reliance. This is particularly important to fulfilling our mission of preparing our students for lives of leadership and selfless service. Our pillar #1, to deliver the #1 student experience, will be realized through 3 initiatives. First, to excel in experiential learning by providing opportunities inside and outside of the classroom that contribute to the development of students and their success. We're already strong in this area, but we want to get better. The second is to amplify academic success by improving on our already very impressive levels of retaining and graduating students and enabling successful careers. And the third initiative is to promote what we call the Clemson experience, which includes all things that make Clemson a special place to live and learn. Each of these initiatives in this pillar and in the remaining 2 pillars has a set of actions and metrics with aspirational goals that we will track to drive our success. Pillar number 2 is to double research by 2035. As a Carnegie R1 University, Clemson is a leader in research, and Research Ascension fulfills our land-grant mission and aligns with our founders' vision to build economic prosperity for our citizens. We now have a goal to elevate research further, to position for membership in the Association of American Universities, which, as you may know, is an elite group of 65 public and private universities focused on improving human life through education, research, and discovery. To do this requires recruitment and cluster hiring around key areas of excellence that we touched on earlier. As well, we need to create world-class research infrastructure, both physical space and support staff. And last but not least, we must leverage our innovation campuses and partnerships to fuel this growth. Pillar number 3 affirms our deep and abiding commitment to our land-grant mission in service to communities, the state of South Carolina, the nation, and the world. Our first initiative in this pillar is to enhance educational attainment and economic opportunities for South Carolinians. The second recommits and builds our efforts to improve agricultural and natural resource excellence. And our third is centered on improving health outcomes for our citizens, especially in rural areas, and in producing graduates in health-related professions. Very much related to all 3 of these pillars is our goal of standing up a College of Veterinary Medicine. This goal is important for solving significant veterinarian shortages in the state and in the nation as well, and it will contribute significantly to our research and outreach in both human and animal health. There's more to come on this exciting prospect. And now, this is how it all comes together. I really like this representation because it shows that our pillars are not independent. Instead, we planned them to overlap and provide synergies, leading to even greater results. And by the way, in addition to being posted on the university web pages, Clemson Elevate imagery and information will be appearing throughout the campus on signage, including on the walls in this room. And now, I will turn the podium over to my colleague, Tony Wagner, our Executive Vice President for Finance and Operations, who will talk about funding and implementation planning to make this all happen.
Thank you, Provost Jones, and thank you, President Clements. It is truly an exciting day for which we have been preparing for several years. President Clements mentioned that not many universities launched a strategic planning process during the pandemic. The same can be said about a campus-wide long-range planning effort. Since early in the pandemic, President Clements, Provost Jones, and my team have been working closely with the deans and ELT to position Clemson's budget for this day. Leaders across campus have exercised exceptional financial and operational discipline, and for that, we are very grateful. With strategic planning, it is important to have a funding plan that is both aspirational and attainable. Importantly, we have begun to invest. You see it in our many capital projects, either in design or construction, and you see it in the amazing new faculty who have joined our ranks. This slide touches on the strategic financial stewardship and our ongoing efforts to innovate and align our work around the priorities of Clemson Elevate. To elaborate, here are some highlights from the work that we have done to make Clemson financially strong and prepare for Clemson Elevate. We have expense management and discipline that is extremely strong. Our enrollment is strong. State and federal funding, especially one-time funding for specific projects, is strong. Our long-range financial planning has been identified by independent third parties as a strength of Clemson. New decision-making tools and business processes have been developed to support the planning and implementation of Clemson Elevate. Major technology enhancements are underway, and a new budget model, RBB, or revenue-based budgeting, has been designed in collaboration with our academic leaders to support Clemson Elevate. This has truly been and will continue to be a team effort. Make no mistake, there are financial headwinds with benefit costs and inflationary pressure, so we must remain vigilant, but Clemson is ready. To do this starts with each of us committing to the success of each other and our shared goals. Lisa Knox leads institutional excellence. She and her team will partner with organizations to help them align college and divisional strategic and operational plans to Clemson Elevate. This involves all of us, faculty, staff, students, and we also appreciate the mentorship and involvement of our alumni, which are among the most involved of any university in the nation. In academic affairs, Jeremy King and colleagues will be working on the data tracking templates and dashboards that drive Clemson Elevate throughout the university. Beginning in the next performance cycle in FY24, Clemson Elevate will tie to department and unit plans as well as individual performance plans. Importantly, there are feedback mechanisms for the entire university. It is in this cycle that we will find day by day and year by year the progress needed to achieve our bold goals and bold plan. We will also be measuring strategic unit plans that can be 1 to 5 year horizons as we elevate annually to meet and exceed our goals. More will be communicated about this process as we move into fiscal year 24. With that, I turn this back to the President. Mr. President, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, EVP Wagner. Clemson Elevate is a promise. It's a promise to lead, a promise to inspire, and a promise to serve. I want each of you to think about the 3 pillars, and I want you to ask yourself, in my role from faculty, staff, student, administrator, alumni, or board member, how can I use my skills and my talents to be all in for Clemson and to inspire and impact others? How can I support our students to create the #1 student experience in the nation? How can I support our incredible faculty and dedicated staff by helping them advance their research? And how can I serve and impact the state of South Carolina and beyond? The value of the Tiger Paw has never been higher, and I'm so excited to see what we will accomplish together in the future. Thank you all again for all that you do for this great university, and go Tigers!
Thank you.